Hey, Alive, what's going on, brother? You got rain there? Yeah, it's kind of a scattered overcast, but it's only calling for like a 3% chance of rain. Hey, Kat, what's going on? Good to see you. Burning more yard waste. Yeah, I forgot to take the bins down to the roadside this last night, so I had to do it at 5 o'clock this morning. I hate it when I forget that. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. Probably Wednesday for Alive. Oh, that fire feels good, let me tell you. Oh, bummer, Cat. Well, you know, we should be getting snowed this time of year here, and it's already, I mean, flowers are coming up, everything's green, the magnolias are blooming. Um, it's just been a weird year. I only had to um, do my driveway, snow blow my driveway twice this year. We probably got a total of maybe 13, 14 inches all all winter, and normally we get anywhere from 8 to 10 feet. Hey, Two Princess, what's going on? This is all yard waste. We had some big windstorms, and I mean, it blew trees down, blew a bunch of limbs and pine cones and everything. So every spring I rake it all up and burn it. Yeah, my daffodils are in full bloom too. Bob's, what's going on, man? Yeah, we had oh, earlier this winter we had a windstorm come through here, 75-mile-an-hour winds, and I mean there was trees down everywhere. I had to call the tree service and have them come out and fall one of these my trees because it was leaning so hard. Hey, what's going on, Eric? Just burning yard waste, buddy. Spring cleanup. Nothing like poking a fire with a stick. I'm located in central Washington. Oh, you've been fighting that cold that's going around? That sucks, Eric. Yeah, I'm in central Washington State. I'm on the east slope of the Cascade Mountains, the Stewart Range. It's a spur off of the Cascades. Here, too, Princess. I'm going to go ahead and give you a wrench so you can connect with everyone if you wish to. As long as you're 18. I'll tell you what, once they get to Washington, neither one of them are going to be fucking happy. We're getting ready to pass a new income tax, 8.5%. Some counties have a county tax. King County has a 12% county tax. It's this is the tax state. If you want to get 41% of your wages taken by the state, this is the place to move. I'm retired. My wife retires in 2 years, and as soon as she does, we're getting the fuck out of here. This is ridiculous. Businesses are leaving this state like crazy. Hey, thanks, Bob. You take care, man. Oh, okay, you're grandma. Yeah, I'm a grandpa. I got 7 grandchildren. Yeah, this place is insane for taxes, you know, and it sucks because I absolutely love it here, man. I love this place, but we're not going to get taxed into poverty. Backtrack, what's up, man? You got 6 grandkids? Hope you're well today, brother. Of course, the fire changes direction right when I go to throw stuff on it. Well, I've got this is a half-acre lot, so if we do move someplace, when we sell this, and if I have to, you know, I got might have to, even if I have to pull 100 grand out of my money market, it's no big deal. Hey, Louise, what's going on? And we're not gonna get a place anything under an acre. We want at least an acre, preferably 5-6 acres. But yeah, we shouldn't have any problem. This place here, we're gonna make pretty good money on it when we sell it. Thanks for stopping in, Louise. In fact, Louise, I am going to let's see. I'm going to, there you go, Louise. I made you a managing moderator because you're Johnny on the spot. You can smell a rat a mile away, so you got the big wrench. Hey, Martin, what's going on, man? Get in there. You bet, Louise. Rob Green, what's up, brother? Yeah, she's just smoking. Yeah, I had to get started early this morning, man, because between 11 and 2, that wind kicks up and you're done burning. Uh-oh. What'd you get a ticket for? Backtrack? $44 and a 25. That'll do her. Last time I got a ticket was 2014 is when I got my last ticket. Hey, Peggy, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. Good to see you again. Yeah, that's like, what's the name of that town? Cle Elum's the same way. And out here on Highway 2, when you turn off at the Highway 297 junction, I live on 97, they took the speed limit sign, the 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, and they moved it about a mile back from where it used to be. And for the first month, man, every time I drove through there, they'd have 2 or 3 people pulled over. No fishing today. Maybe tomorrow. It's either got to be tomorrow or Thursday. I'm not going again on Friday. Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, there's just too many people out there fishing. The fire's really being a pain in the ass today. Oh, drive assistance. Well, yeah, you know, the motto of the police used to be to protect and serve. Now it's to intimidate and extort. God damn that fire. We're gonna move over here, guys. Make sure we get the fire in there. Fuck. How about we just do one last move right here, like this. There we go. Yeah, they are hard to get to. They are hard to get to with those mediums. Oh, it absolutely is a two-tiered justice system. Yeah, that's like me. If I didn't pay my taxes on this place, they would immediately, or well, they would have to wait till I was, what, I think 1 year or a year and a half in the rears. And then the state or county can come in and take it. Usually county can give you a notice of eviction. And people over here next to me, they used to be drug dealers, but now they're too old to do that. They don't have 2 pennies to rub together. They haven't paid their taxes in 4 years. They've got, the county's had to come in, code enforcement, and do a cleanup on the place like 4 times in the 23 years we've lived here. And the county ain't gonna do shit to them. They just keep stacking money, a lien against the place. Oh shit. Well, yeah, I didn't think there was either. I thought the Autobahn was like wide open, man. Yeah, I got mine on my Harley. I was on my way to work and I was doing about 10 over. Didn't even realize it. You know, I always use my blinker too when I'm in town. But like on the freeway in Washington State, you do not want to use your blinker. This state are some of the most aggressive fucking drivers I've ever seen in my life. You put on your blinker and they're going to immediately cut you off. They're going to speed up or whatever they can do to fuck you. I've never seen, you know, and I get rude to myself. You just get frustrated with it. You get so fed up with it, you know. And so I've done some shit to people, but I try to be a courteous driver. Wow, Louise. Oh, because you don't drive, yeah. Last time I went out fishing was last Friday, and I caught that largemouth bass that was 4 inches long. As a matter of fact, I held the fish up on the camera in my hand, and so the fish was, you know, it was a little bit wider than my hand, and somebody in Fish and Game Department must have been watching that video because I got a notice from Fish and Game, and they said that's possibly the smallest largemouth bass that has ever been taken on a fly. So I got that going for me. Hey, Marines and Army Mom, what's going on? Yeah, I know, large is it's a stretch, ain't it? Yeah, record holder for the smallest one. But I'll tell you what, the next time I go fishing out there, I got a bunch of little bass and crappie jigs, really small, super light ones that I can use on my fly pole. And then I've also got some topwater poppers, and I'll definitely be taking all those with me now that I know there's bass in there, because nobody over there is targeting bass. Everybody's going for those big broodstock trout. So now that I know those bass are in there spawning, I'll bet I could pull one out. Yeah, it was definitely short, man. But I know he's got a mommy and daddy out there that aren't. Oh man, if I caught a 3 pound bass, shit, if I caught a 1 pound bass on that fly rod, oh, that would be so awesome, man. Those things put up a fucking fight. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I can just take one of those hoppers and pitch it out over there by them trees where I always throw my fly. If there's big bass in there, there'll be bass in that area. Or what I need to do is find where they spawn at. If the water ever goes down, I'll be able to see. I got a hunch though. It's kind of right out there in front of me, over where that creek comes in, because it's real muddy over there, and they like a muddy bottom to make their spawning beds in. That's why I'd never eat one of those fish. A 15 pound, wow. Not much, Rob. Last night I barbecued a flank steak. I marinated it for 24 hours, and we made some carne asada tacos. And then the wife got a recipe for this Mexican coleslaw, and we put that on there. And then she bought some fresh salsa from the Mexican market. Comes the wind again. Change directions. So, got a big gulp of that crap. So that's what we had for dinner last night. It was freaking awesome. Yeah, and it went really good with a couple Coronas. Oh, really? Backtrack? That's how it was for me year before last, man. I went 13 months before I caught a fish. Yeah, I know. My wife's pissed that I shaved it off. She told me I better grow it back out. Yeah, buddy. Lucky number 13. It's not a bad place, man. We absolutely love it, and I love that that garage you see there with the big angled roof on it. That's about the same angle as our house has too. I got your lucky patch, dude. Maybe that's what the game changer was. Maybe now I'll start catching bass. You know, you're absolutely right, dude. I've been saying I'm gonna quit these fucking nasty bastards for so long. I'm putting it out. I'll snuff that if I get the urge later, maybe. But my wife bought these nicotine pills, but I mean, I only take a half of one, and they're about the size of a 50-cent piece, and but they kind of make my mouth feel really weird, and then they screw my gut up. Yeah, that's turkey. Yep. There's only one in the yard today. Yesterday I think I had like 22 or 23 in the yard. Yeah, stand on the other side of the fire and get your smoke, right? I need to quit, man. I bet, you know, and that's what the issues my dad's having right now is from fucking smoking all his life. And well, that and he's getting old, you know, he's 84 years old, and you know, he had a hard life, man. He's wore out. But yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to quit smoking. He quit when he went to the hospital. He's home now though. Yeah. Yeah, he would, huh? He's not shy. There's this one Tom that he comes in here every day, and he's got like 4 hens, and he's got this one feather on his I think it's a wing feather, or maybe on his back that goes into a tail feather. I can't tell, but it's twisted around. It's broke or something, but it's been hanging there for like, I don't know, about 10 days. I call him Broken Feather now. He's the only one I can recognize. They all look the same to me. Oh, I got some big toms that come here. I got one of those turkey roasters, and there's a couple of them I guarantee would not fit in that roasting pot. And you know, if you guys ever do, I don't know if you guys ever seen those turkey roasting pots you buy, or deep fryers. And what you want to do is you take that bird and you put it in that pot, and then you fill it up with water until it's about an inch over that bird, and then you take a piece of painter's tape and mark it inside there. And then you take that bird out, and wherever that water, make sure you get all the water, pour it back into the pot. In fact, I'm wrong on the tape. So you put it in there, fill it up with water an inch over, and then you pull the bird out, make sure all the water gets back in the pot, and then you mark the pot. That's how you do that. And then when you put the turkey, you dump all the water out, dry it out real good, fill it up to that line with the oil. Then you pull that tape out, and then you take a towel and you try to dry all the cavities and everything on that bird before you drop it in. I've seen guys make the mistake of just guessing on the oil, and when that thing overflows, you want to talk about a fire. No, I haven't ate any of them yet, Mark. Yeah, I haven't. I've never. Well, I tried wild turkey one time, but the guy that made it, he didn't know what he was doing, I guess, because it tasted really bad. And I talked to other guys. It kind of tastes like pine needles. I talked to people that said some guy said you can splay it all out, quarter it up, and then soak it in milk. One guy said soak it in a brine. So I'll probably go with the brine. if I ever do shoot one. There's some more stuff on this fire. Soak it in buttermilk, yeah. Oh yeah, all these birds are healthy. Fuck it. The way I feed them, I'll bet I go through. Oh, I don't just feed them. I feed the wild songbirds, and I got bird feeders hanging. And I'll bet you I spend at least $300 a year on bird food, bird seed, wild bird seed. Oh, really? Okay, so that's the trick, and soak it in buttermilk. You know, it's cool if my wife has uh, buttermilk dehydrated powder, so we can make buttermilk. Because I mean, we buy buttermilk and we'll never use it all till till it goes bad. Yeah, you know what? My wife's the same way. I have to watch it when I smoke bird because if you're smoking bird, you already know those things are like a sponge and they will soak that smoke flavor up. So when I'm smoking a bird, I probably only use, I usually use the apple chips if I don't have apple chunks, and I'll only use probably a cup and a half of chips through the whole smoking process. Right on. So you know what I'm talking about, that pine taste. Right on, man. Well, I think maybe this fall I'll get a turkey license. I won't shoot them in my yard because they won't come back for about 7 or 8 years. But um, my neighbors right here, the corner of their property meets a corner of Forest Service land. Excuse me. So I can ask them if I can just walk across their driveway basically and get on the Forest Service land. Head straight up the mountain, but it's such a steep son of a bitch. I'll tell you what, man. Use apple chunks. Yeah, on all my birds and my oh, what else do I use? Oh, fish. I use I use the apple wood on them, and then like my pork and beef and lamb, I'll usually use either mesquite. I prefer mesquite out of all of them, or hickory. There's one other one too. Oh no, I already said that. Yeah, so I'll use either, because that's all I got is hickory apple and mesquite. Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, a lot of people, when I told them it tastes like pine, they're like, how do you taste that? Well, if you can smell a pine, that's what it tastes like. Smell a pine tree. That's what it tastes like. No, I don't smoke lamb, but I'll cook it over the grill, over the smoker, but I'll leave it open, and I use those mesquite chunks and briquettes and do my lamb that way. I don't, I don't really smoke it though. The mesquite doesn't give a real smoke flavor. I don't know. It's hard to explain what mesquite. It almost tastes like it adds salt to the taste, but it's just got such a different flavor to it. The next time, if you can ever get your hands on some mesquite chunks, I strongly recommend you buy it just at least once and try it on your beef. Oh my God, is it good? I don't know if you guys can get mesquite over there. And you know, they sell in the stores here in America, you can buy mesquite charcoal, but it's not the same as if you, when I was down working down in Colorado, a guy I was working with told me, says, if you want to make a good steak, he says, that wood right there, he goes, that's dead mesquite. Take that home and throw that on your barbecue. I did, and it was like nothing I ever tasted in my life, and it was so awesome. But you know, about as far as smoked lamb goes, I've seen guys. Where the hell did I see that? It was somewhere over in Eastern Europe, and they slaughtered. You know, when they slaughter a sheep, they grind it all up, and they make it into dried sausages that looked really, really good. Mix a bunch of spices in and stuff. It looked pretty damn good. Okay, I'm gonna run back up here real quick and get another wheelbarrow full. Nate. Hey, Sherburne, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, Beth Anna? Haven't seen you in a while. Get you hooked up. There you go. Get caught up on chat here. Yeah, the orchards around here, they sell theirs, man. And those bins you're talking about, those apple bins, one of those will cost you, what were they? What was I getting those bins for? I think I was getting them for like 35 bucks a bin. And it was all apple and pear. Yeah, the stumps are the best, ain't they? Thank you, Louise. Scottish Mike, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Damn it. Changing direction again. Yep, doing pretty good, man. I'm upright. I can't believe this damn smoke is just following me around here. We're back where we started. Yeah, they're actually, move this over a little more. They're actually tearing out orchards down in the valley and putting housing developments in, track housing. I hate to see it. And if they're not doing that, they're tearing them out and putting a data center in. Yeah, down in the Wenatchee Valley, I'm sure you guys have seen my videos. It's just all apples and cherries and apricots. Oh, here comes a dove. And there goes a dove. Yeah, those ringnecks, they come in here. And mourning doves do too. And they like to pick up the seed too. They won't feed off the bird feeders. They only feed off the ground. What's up, Don? How you doing, brother? You're Lake Stevens? Tell you what, buddy, if you go down into, you're probably up on the hill. I don't know if it's part of Issaquah or if it's Lake Stevens. You just go all the way down the hill, drive over the top, go over 90, and then right there, there's that little town. I don't know if that's part of Issaquah or if that's part of Lake Stevens, but there's an Asian restaurant on the main drag that is excellent, man. Oh, you're on Soper? Those doves are sky rats? Working Everett, huh? Hey, Jerry, what's going on? You know what? Lake Stevens, you're north of Seattle, ain't you? I think I'm turned around. Hey, Russ, what's up, man? Yeah, you know what? I ate dove one time, and I didn't really care for the taste of it. Now quail and pheasant, I fucking love them, man. They are excellent. Oh, and grouse. I hunt a lot of grouse. Ooh. Like South Marysville. Okay. Yeah, I'm totally turned around. I'm thinking of the wrong lake, buddy. Yeah, my oldest daughter and her husband, they live out in Anacortes, and that's the only reason I know anything about Marysville, because that's where I take that exit and go through Marysville when I start heading west. Partridge is good. I've had partridge. Uh, Here in Washington State, we have Hungarian partridge, and then we also have a bird called a chucker, and it's a type of partridge too. But man, it doesn't really. It's more of a ground bird. They kind of make a sound that almost sounds like a guinea hen when you spook them and they take off flying, but it's not as loud as a guinea. Yeah, this is my property. You're in Missouri? Right on. Thanks, man. That that oh man, that damn smoke. I don't. Part of that property you're seeing over there is my neighbor's property too. Yeah, in a fair tree. I've only got a half acre here. Yeah, that damn smoke keeps changing directions, man. Which that's a good thing. At least the wind ain't blowing. That's why I got started so early this morning. Is that wind will kick up anywhere from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it's done. It's so damn dry here. Last thing I'd want is these sparks to go up here behind me in this timber and set that off. Hell yeah, Don. I'll contact you via email. It's pretty cool here, man. What we should do is meet up, like do a weekend camping trip or something, either fishing or rock hounding. Adrian, what's up, brother? I'm in central Washington State. Almost, I'm like, dang it, from where I'm at right now, I think I'm like, let's see, I'm about 9 miles. This house is about 9 miles from geographical center of the state. Oh, mobile. Oh, that's cool, man. I just got a little tent I can throw in the back of my Jeep. But I got a camper. I put a big camper. And that's what when me and the wife go camping. That's usually what we do, is put the camper on the back of the truck. That way we can take the dogs with us. Yeah, you can see that pile of wood back there. That's one of the trees I had taken down last spring that was right by the garage, and it was just dumping pitch on my cars like crazy. So I cut it down, and then that big windstorm came up this winter, and I had to bring another tree down. So I've got about 3/4 of a cord there I need to split and stack, and then behind me, behind the camera, I got about it, I would say a solid cord, a little over probably. You got a dresser in it now? Right on. Well, from Bellevue, I've worked in Bellevue. Sold it years ago. It is. It is absolutely gorgeous here, and the clouds are blowing away now. Oh, there's the Stellar Jay. He knows the that call you just heard. That was a Stellar Jay. They do, I think, 23 or 24 different calls. That's another one of their calls. Beautiful birds. Let's see if I can get you guys one real quick here. Oh, he already flew off. Yeah, that's my neighbor's dump next door. Yeah, it sucked. No, that noise you hear, that's a highway, and then this is just the road. This right here is the road in and out of the neighborhood. Thank you, Louise. You beat me to it. Yeah, Cloud, ask your mother if I'm gay. Or your sister. I know. Probably some kid. Yeah, I like to mess with them a little bit. He can ask his mom or his sister. Yeah, he needs friends. Oh, Louise is fast, man. Very fast. Yep, you're right. You're absolutely right, Dawn. Everybody wants to take a pop shot at him. Yeah, Dawn's got a really interesting, or Faces in the Stone. Very, very interesting channel. No doubt, Jerry. Yep, there's a lot of them. Oh, okay, I will. I will, Dawn. I'll check it out. Jerks off his dad snoring. Oh man, I found this channel this morning. It was super early in the morning, and the dude, for some reason, this guy sounds like a he sounds like he's Scottish, but he's in Australia, and maybe there's an Australian accent that sounds a lot like a Scottish accent, but there's a lot of Scottish accents too. But anyway, he's a fisherman, and he is the most filthy mouth guy I ever heard in my life, and but he's a riot about it, and everything pisses him off. If this loon came swimming by when he was fishing, he goes on these insane rants that are just funnier than hell, man. I'll get his name, and I'll do a. He's on Facebook. He's not on YouTube. Man, I immediately started following him, and then I went and watched several of his videos he's got out. And man, he's a riot. Australian, no. You know what? I think he's a transplant. I honestly think he's a transplant because I know an Australian accent. I know several Australian accents, and this guy, and I know several Scottish accents from watching all you guys. This guy, I would bet money that this guy is from Scotland, but he relocated to Australia. Crocodile from Dundee. That's a good one. Let me get kind of feel. I don't know if he's got the rods in his head, but he's got like a little triangle thing he puts on his head, and he just sits there, and he sounds like one of those Himalayan monks, and just does these chants just over and over and over. Sir Martin of Saxony, what are you doing, brother? Yeah, that guy, that one video, first the loon came by, and he's like, telling this bird, I don't want to see your ugly fucking head again, you fucking bird. Well, then right after that, these guys came by on those big, long kayaks, those rowing clubs. They came by, and he's like, you fucking white guys, get the fuck out of here. And he just starts, go row somewhere else, get off my fucking river. Then he catches this little fish, and he just starts cooking? Oh, right on. Thanks, Martin. I appreciate it. Then he does catch a fish, and he grabs the fish, and he holds it up to his bait, and he goes, "You see what you've done to my bait, you son of a bitch?" And he goes, "You filthy fish, you smell like squid pussy." He throws him back in the water. All right, Backtrack, take care, man. Nice view, huh? Yeah, right, Jerry. Well, that's funny you mention that, because when he cussed the loon out and it swam off, just before the rowing team came by, that's exactly, he's got his house slippers on. He goes, "Ah, this is relaxing, isn't it?" And then all of a sudden, it's just like a split second later, the rowing team, and he just instantly goes into rage again. Okay, here, Don, let me hook you up then. There you go. Shit. Got a hit on that one. Let's see here. Yeah, smoke alert big time, man. Yep, burn the evidence, brother. What's going on, Gills and Trills? Yep, gotta get rid of the evidence. Hey, what's going on, Ewos? I missed Ewos. I didn't even see him. There you are. What's up, brother? Smoking evidence. Yeah. Brother John P, what's up, man? Good to see you. Oops. Charger fell off. Trying to get the, oh, here, I can stick it right there. There we go. No, are you talking, it must be over in the UK, huh, Rob? Oh, okay, this fire? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. You know, though, when I did work at that burner, when I worked for Waste Management, they would, the Spokane Sheriff's Department, they would, every so often, when they, in their, evidence room, when they would go to get rid of all the drugs after the trial was over and everything, they would bring them out to our trash burner, and they would, about 8 officers would get out, and they would motion to bring the grapples down, the big clamshells, and they would load all the drugs in it. And one of those, or excuse me, 2 of the sheriffs, then they would leave it down on the tipping floor, but the other 6, 2 of them would get escorted all the way up to the crane operators, cab, and you could see both the hoppers for boiler 1 and boiler 2 on left and right side of you. And they would go up there and stand, and then they'd give him the signal, and he could bring it up and dump it in the hoppers, and they had to stand there and watch it go all the way down so they knew it was into the burn chamber. Yeah, I'll bet. All right, Alive. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming in, brother. Fucking Smokey's just being a pain in my ass today. I guess we're going to move back over where it was. Damn it, my charger. Battery pack. Yeah, I'll bet those boilers, the stack on them things were I think it was like 120 foot tall. Yeah, it came out of the stacks, which the stacks were 120 feet off the top of the building, which the building was 9 stories, so they were up there. Yeah, I remember. Usually they brought the stuff that they were burning. It was usually weed. It wasn't, or if it was cocaine or whatever, heroin or whatever, it was in bags or boxes that we couldn't see. But the weed, I mean, these guys, and I'm pretty sure it was a test, but they would always have a bunch of weed spilt all over the tipping floor, and they would take off, and the foremans, there was cameras right on it, but the foremans wouldn't say shit, and then they would wait about an hour and then send somebody down to sweep it into the pit. I think it was, like I said, I think it was a trap. But anybody that fell for it was stupid, because, I mean, we got drug screens there. Yeah, domestic violence drugs. Yep, chip sales and cookies. How's Bob? Yeah, my buddy I used to ride with, he had an accident, and he's paralyzed from the neck down. And him and his wife just live right here in the neighborhood, so my wife goes over there 5 days a week for an hour and a half and helps him with his range of motion movements and help him out with some other things. Yeah, a waste of weed, and it was some good looking weed. Because I was down there with the one of the guys that was down on the tipping floor when they bought the crane shovels down. I immediately told, there was 4 of us boiler mechanics, and I told the other 3 guys, I said, don't even fucking go up there. I told them it was out there on the tipping floor. They had one of the utility operators go down there and sweep it in. Damn it, man. Here it comes again. I can't remember who told that joke last night on at Maddie's. If a crane is what brings the babies, what kind of bird stops the babies? A swallow. I thought that was a pretty good joke. I can't remember if it was Rob or if it was Craig. You like that, Louise? Yeah, we were when we first moved over here from Spokane. In Spokane, we lived in a subdivision, and it was a big, big lot though, and it had a three-bay shop in the back. So that was my wife's house. When we hooked up together, she'd already been living in that house for quite some time. But when we first moved over here, we moved from there to, and we moved into East Wenatchee, down in the valley. And man, and we had a place. It was exactly on an acre of land. We were thinking about buying it, but I told her, I said, I can't live in this desert, man, because that sun, as soon as it comes up over those mountains, which is about 9 o'clock in the morning, the air conditioner goes off, and it doesn't go off till 10 o'clock at night. And I just couldn't handle it. So we drove up, we started driving up, toward Leavenworth, and then let's go up Blewett and check Blewett out. And it was in the middle of a snowstorm. There was a couple trucks in the ditch, and people were putting chains on and stuff. And I was like, hey, I'm liking this. So we just kept driving up Blewett and seen this road, came up this road, and we didn't even know there was a neighborhood back here. And it's a little community club thing. It's pretty cool. It's not an HOA. You can pretty much do anything you want. You know what? It might have been Steve. I think you're right, Rob. I think it might have been Steve, now that I think about it. Oh, it's so nice, dude. Um, when I get the backyard done, raking it up, so that's what I'm working on today. Excuse me. I'm going to, I don't know, when it quits freezing at night, I'll get our fountain. I got a fountain built into the rock wall. I got this big koi I put on top and put this big urn full of water down on the bottom. And it's pretty cool, man. I sit back there and do live streams and just, BS. Or sometimes I'm working on something. But sit out there with the camera on the fountain. The hostas are all up. I mean, it's that place, man. That backyard patio is just I absolutely love it, man. It took me about probably 3 or 4 years to get it all done. But I love sitting back there, man. That's my Zen garden. But today, in case I go fishing tomorrow or Friday or Thursday, I got to take my silicone spray and stretch that. Damn it! Here it comes again. Stretch that float line out on my fly rod and wipe it down with silicone spray. Maddie taught me that trick, and I'll tell you what, man. The first time you do it, you're going to notice immediately, because it's going to give you about 8 to 10 feet extra. I don't know why, but it does. It just keep that float line lubed up with that silicone. Every other time you go out, wipe it down. It makes a hell of a difference. And Maddie's got the same float line he's had on there for 5 years. So it makes them last a lot longer too. Yeah. Yeah, what sucks here is like last summer, if we had fires right behind the house for months, and we had probably 3 months of smoke last summer. Every once in a while, the wind would come up and blow it out. Yep, and that's what I did. I took a Q-tip and sprayed that silicone spray on it and wiped all my eyes on the rod and give it a good stretch. Yep, that's exactly what I do. I wrap it around, I wrap my leader around one of the trees down here in the yard and walk that line all the way out and stretch that whole thing out. I let it sit there for about a half hour, 45 minutes. And then as I'm reeling it back in, that's when I'm wiping it down with the silicone. Yeah, I hate the fires, man. So that's the second time that we've been on in 20, we've been up here, what, 23 years? And that's the second time in 23 years that we've had a level one evacuation. That fire is just, whoops, not cooperating today. Oh, your uncle lives in Vancouver? Right on. My my wife's mom and stepdad, they live down in oh, Battleground, which is not far from Vancouver. Oh, just stretch the head of the line. Yeah, because you never ever get to that. I mean, you're really only using about what, 50, 60 feet of that float line. At least me, anyway. Maybe someday I'll use more when I'm a big boy. Yeah, the next time I go to that lake, man, and if if I go tomorrow, the next day, that's where I'm heading. And I got my bass goodies with me, man. I'm gonna target just bass. And here comes the breeze. When there's a little bit of a breeze, it's kind of nice because it burns that pile down fast. We're gonna have to move again. Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, I was watching Maddie fishing one time. They were at that lake where the big trout are, where they're like all like 8 to 15 pounds, and it's like an half hour drive for him. But anyway, there was a little kid fly fishing there, and I was like, that's when I was still first learning. I was like, I wonder if I'm ever going to be able to do this shit. Look at that kid, man. And then I seen another little girl. She was probably 8 years old, and she's in a kayak fly fishing, and a big fish, big, I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was trout. It rolled probably about 40 feet out in front of her, and she did a back cast twice, boom, boom, and put that fly right on that fish's nose. As soon as that fly hit the water, bam, that trout nailed it. I couldn't believe it, man. 8-year-old little girl. I thought, good thing I'm not there because I'd push her off that kayak. Just kidding. Thank you, Louise. I appreciate it. Oh, hardly ever throw a long line. Hey, B Husky, what's up, man? Yeah, I was watching. It was over in Europe somewhere. I can't remember. Probably Scotland. They were having a fly casting contest, and this guy had the two-handed spey rod, and it was like, I can't remember. I think it was like 16, 18 feet long, and this dude cast like 246 feet or 226 feet, something like that. Yeah, I might go out. I might go out today, just right here on in the park. It's all grass down there, and I might do some practicing myself, just because I'm still every once in a while I still bend my wrist in my back cast, and every time I do that, that fly goes right in the dirt or in the bushes. Yeah, I know, almost a football field. Yep. But you should have seen this rod, man. Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was an 18 foot. Yeah, those guys using those spey rods, and then they've got that spey line on there too. I don't know what the difference is on it. If it's uh, a heavier head weight or what, I don't know. Yeah, she's burning. Okay, so this is the only place I haven't set this camera yet. There we go. Yeah, I think it is. It's just for tournament. They were throwing in a field. Like I said, it was. Yeah, that's the only way I'd be able to get it out there if I had a 242-foot rod. You can cast in your fish tank. Oh, you just looked it up, Rob? Fucking fire. Let's see here. Yeah, the first rod I bought, I didn't know what I was doing. I just went for the cheapest fly rod uh, kit I could find, and it's a max catch. It's cheap, man. But I bought the first one, and it was like 70 bucks. Came with a dozen flies, a hat, pair of gloves, line straightener, nippers, and I think it had either 12 or 14 flies in it. And it was what was it, 6 foot, 6 foot 4 weight. And man, I couldn't get about 40 feet is all. 35, 40 feet is all I could get out of that rod. And but I hadn't got it down yet. I didn't have the cast down yet. And before I even had it down, I went ahead and bought a 9 foot, yeah, 9 foot 8 weight. And man, I'll tell you what, talk about a game changer. No, I'm fishing little lakes and stuff, and I'm just trying to get them way out there. But like where I'm fishing right here in this lake where I'm going either tomorrow or the next day, there's big trout in there. They're up to in that lake, they're up to 12 pounds. And then they got those largemouth bass in there too, which we all know how big they can get. 240-foot rod though. Yeah. Well, same here with this 8 weight. Like when I'm fishing up in the Pend Oreille and stuff, Pend Oreille River and up in Sullivan Lake. Sullivan Lake's got the state record. It's held the state record for German brown, 22 pounds for since the 60s. And there's big cutthroats in there. I'm talking 8, 10 pound cutthroats. And then this Mattoon Lake that I'm fishing, it's got big fish in it too. But some of my favorite lakes, if I want to catch 4, 5, 6 fish, is they're just 13, 14 inches is probably about going to be about it because they're all planters. There's not a big difference between 5 and 8. Now that I got the cast down again, or now that I got the cast down, I should try that little 4 weight again and see. I might be able to get a hell of a lot more out of it. You know what I mean? When you're striper fishing. God, I love stripers. Ugh. I don't remember how my mother used to do them, but man, those things were so good. Us kids, just me and my little sister, we loved that stuff. Hell, I don't know, it might have been Might have been my dad making it. Yeah, you know, and I'm throwing a lot of streamers, and they're weighted, and then throwing the bass and crappie jigs and lures. You know, they're weighted too. Get a float tube with a 5 weight. You know, that's up on that lake when I'm fishing. All those fish that are rolling and boiling, 90% of them are way out there, you know, in the middle of the lake, in the deepest part of the lake. But for fishing them bass, a float tube would be pretty cool, because then I could cast towards shore into the under those trees and stuff. Stripers. Striped bass. They're I don't know. They might have landlocked ones, but the ones like in California that we used to fish for, they were ocean run. And we would just, that's when the season opened, is when they were running them, when they were running. So we usually on the Sacramento rivers where we fish for them. Yeah, all the above. I forgot to ask, are any of you guys tying today or tonight? Just need a heavier leader and different kinds of poles, yes. I'm gonna let that kind of burn a little bit there, and then I'm gonna kind of make a bowl in it. And I pick up all these pine cones because they like to roll off while it's burning. Pick up all those pine cones and throw them in there. You guys got striped bass in Germany, Rob? Yeah, no shit with gas prices these days. You ain't kidding. I actually though, I thought my license and tags and all that shit was going to go up a lot more. Hey, Paul, what's going on? When I went and bought them, I mean, I felt a little bit, but of a push. But I mean, they didn't go up as much as I thought they were going to go up. So regular right now is about five. I think it's about five and a half, 5.25. You're 450 there. Well, Washington State's got one of the highest gas taxes in the United States. No bass? Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you guys had ocean run bass there too. I'm still, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, but to me, it's pretty damn interesting. It's, you know, we've had German brown in this state for probably 100, 140 years is when they first started planting them in the United States. I don't know about the West Coast. Probably maybe only 110 years on the West Coast. But, and they were all, freshwater fish. They planted them in the lakes and in rivers. And here about 11, 12 years ago, some guys over in the northern part of Washington on the west side, they said they were catching ocean run German brown trout. And, they reported it to Fish and Game. Fish and Game, their biologist said, no, we don't have those in this state. And they kept getting reports from people, hey man, we're catching ocean run German browns here. And so I think it was 2 years ago. I can't remember which river it was. These biologists went in, they hired this guy with nets, and they went in and netted fish. And then they came out and said, yes, Washington State now has ocean run German browns. Those fish just start doing that on their own. Yeah, need fire to release seeds. Yep. Oh, Lake Murray, South Carolina. Okay. $6 in California. What's up, Randall? Yeah, it fluctuates quite a bit in California. Oh, you don't have any ocean run anything, yeah. Yep, exactly. Costco's about $5.50. To $200 a barrel? Jesus. Oh, I woke up one morning and went up 50 cents overnight. Yeah, now I'll bet you that's where they hammer me too, is when I go to license my boat. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Well, in Washington State, if your boat is if it's under 8 foot or shorter, you don't have to. I can't. It might be 10 foot. I can't remember. It's either 8 or 10 foot. You don't have to. You don't have to license it. What I missed. Yeah, it's jumping up fast, ain't it, man? Oh, okay, so you do have some fish that run then. Yep. Wow, that sucks. That sucks, Cast. Well, this right here, probably 150 yards from where I'm standing right now, is a little creek called Peshastin Creek. And it's salmon, or excuse me, steelhead run in that. And it's all spawning ground, so you can't fish any of it, none of it. And when they blew it past the highway up here back in the 50s, They didn't time it with the salmon run, and there used to be coho salmon that ran up this river, and they wiped out that run, and they never did anything to try to restore it. Oh, hell yeah, it will, Peggy. Already is. Hey, Thumbelina, I'm sorry. I missed you. Here, let's get you hooked up. There you go. Sorry about that. I didn't even see you came in. Yeah, I think it is too. I really think it is. You know what? You're absolutely there, Kath. Absolutely right, man. Well, you know that's how I am with the fish. I I turn in every poacher I see. Well, even when I was deer hunting and stuff, because I've always well when I was younger there was a few times, but anyway, long 30, 40 years ago. And so anytime I see anybody doing that kind of shit, I turn them in because you know what? At the time when I was young in my 20s, you know, I'd take a couple. I've taken a few illegal deer, and but I never did take a. Yeah, I took one illegal fish too. But now that I'm older, you know, I've got sense that just think if everybody did that, there wouldn't be fucking nothing left. Oh yeah, food prices are gonna, everything's gonna go up. Yeah, let everybody do their own gardening and stuff. But people in cities, you know, we got some big cities here in America. Well, you guys do too in Europe, and there just wouldn't be enough food for everybody, which might not be a bad thing, huh? Yep, that's what I say. Yeah, and I follow the rules to the T nowadays, man. I mean, there's a lot of times when I've been over there at that other lake where those, and I've seen those 5, 6, 7 pound trout, rainbows jumping out of the water. Man, there's nothing I would love more than to throw on a dry fly and a couple droppers behind it, 3 flies, but it's that particular body of water is one fly only, one hook, that's it. What really pisses me off is when I see, there's certain bodies of water here that are fly fishing only, and it's called selective rules. And you have to use the soft rubber net, gel nets. You can use up to 3 flies, but it's fly fishing only. And, you know, I go into one of these areas and to go fly fishing, and it hasn't happened yet, but I know where it's going to happen. When I go back up to Ione, my hometown, and I fish up there, I know I'm going to run into guys that are my buddies that I went to high school with and stuff, and they're going to be in there with spinners, you know, throwing a lure or a worm, so that's probably why I won't go fishing with any of them. But that pisses me off when I go into a fly only area and see people bait fishing or throwing a lure, man, because we don't have very many areas that are like that for us. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of with as many people as there is, man. It's just, I really think that America should do something like China did there and give tax incentives for not having children. I mean, we need to slow down this population here a little bit. There it is. Oh, I hate the litter. Man, that pisses me off. No farms, no food. Yeah, I mean, and I can't believe it that a fisherman would go up to one of those lakes up in the mountains that I go to, or anywhere, and throw all their fishing rubbish, their worm boxes, and break a new lure out of the package, throw her on the fucking ground. Um, you know, bait balls laying everywhere, power bait. Fuck. As soon as I move, the fire starts blowing right here. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, we got a lot of issues with litter, and it really sucks. We we've got a lot of, for lack of better words, I'm going to call them nomads that will spend an entire summer up in the woods somewhere, or several different locations, and every place they go, it's just massive garbage. They leave all the freaking garbage they bring, and that just makes my blood boil. Well, I'll tell you one thing, from the cities that I've seen in the UK compared to the cities in the United States, The cities in the UK are way, way, way cleaner. You know, I used to, I've been working in, well, I'm retired now, but I worked in Seattle off and on for the last, shit, since the late 80s. And I used to love working in that town, going over there and going to all the different restaurants and going to, seeing different things, doing different things. And that place it's turned into a major, major, big, big city. And it's just got all the big city problems with it. And I can't stand to go over there now. Traffic was bad even back in the 80s, but man, it's insane now. Well, yeah, they are. The we got a recycle bin and we have a garbage bin. Time to move again. And the recycle bin. Oops, god dang it. They used to put everything in the recycle bin, including glass and all that. And then all of a sudden they say, no, we don't recycle glass anymore. So if I want to recycle my glass, I have to drive 31 miles to recycle glass. Oh man, that kind of shit pisses me off. Spray painting graffiti out in nature. If I ever catch an asshole doing that shit, it's going to be all I can do from putting them in their forever box. Yeah, well, I absolutely do not trust the government. Not gonna do it. I was gonna light a cigarette. Nope, not gonna do it. Oh, I know. That's what we do too. We go through and sort, remove all the labels on the plastic jugs, rinse them all out. We do all that stuff. Yeah, it is. That is a bit of a drive. Yeah, exactly. The government is way, 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 way too fat. Now, you know, some of the stuff that our president does kind of drives me nuts, but that is one thing. He eliminated 30% of the U.S. government union jobs, which I think is a good thing. Granted, I was a union employee, but the unions have overlived their worth and they have become a political action group in this country. Those guys. I mean, yeah, there's a bit of a brotherhood there, but they're way, way, way more concerned with politics than they are our jobs. I mean, they're making stupid decisions over there on the other side of the state that are, they told us we get these flyers from our union. Vote for these guys. Vote for this guy. Each one of these districts and all this. So they do it. First thing this one liberal does is gets in there and puts a ban on natural gas in King County. Well, that's about 30% of our work in King County is gas distribution. So then our union hall tells us we need you guys to go down on these certain dates at this place and protest against this shit. And it's like, hey, asshole, you guys are the ones that told us to vote for this fucking blockhead, you know? And now you want us to go protest? Yep, so does Washington. Billions in fraud, man. You know, and it's it, here in America, the fraud isn't just limited to just blue states. There's fraud in a lot of the big cities. A lot of, even in red states, there's a lot of fraud going on in the big cities. You're absolutely right. Those are the career politicians. That's why we need term limits. The jet fuel hoax. Okay. I just happen to know a little something about jet fuel. I was a jet engine mechanic in the Navy. Yeah, you know, and that's what we tried to do. We tried to minimize our carbon footprint, but and I know what you're thinking. Yeah, right. You're standing there with an open fire going, if I loaded all this stuff up into my truck and hauled this all in to the dump, into it would go into a landfill. It would cost me, I don't know how much in fuel, in diesel, and then it's for every load I bring in and dump, it's $40. So, and I would probably have at least, I would say 10 or 15 pickup fulls. There's Martin. What's for dinner, Martin? Oh, that's bad. Tires burning. Ooh, that is bad, bad, bad. Yeah, and you know, you're so limited with an electric car, especially in the wintertime. Jacket spuds, nice. I think we call those, I think that's like a twice baked potato. Nice. Yeah, my wife makes twice baked potatoes, and what you do is you bake the potatoes and cut them in half and scoop all the potatoes out, and then you mix. I think she puts like sour cream, some cream cheese, green onions, and then she puts some spices in it. Anyway, then you put those back in the potatoes, and then you sprinkled sprinkle cheddar cheese on it and put it in the oven. I think she bakes it just till the cheese melts, till they get nice and hot. And then you sprinkle green onions and bacon bits on it. Pretty damn good. Oh, nice. I know what you're talking about. I've seen those potatoes. We haven't never made those. I think, you know what? I think we're gonna try them. One that I seen was they take the potato skins, and after you scoop all the potatoes out, they filled it up with, and they were big bakers, fill them up with macaroni and cheese. That looked pretty good. Hey, that's a good idea. That's a real good idea, Peggy. Yes, you can never have too much cheese. Oh yeah, the wife makes those. Yeah, we love them. We quit using the green bell peppers though. We started using the yellows and the reds and the oranges because the greens started giving us both. As we got older, green peppers started giving us heartburn. So we just do the colored peppers now. Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, that's like when I was in the Navy, we um, we shot uh, we shot down two Libyan MiGs. It was when Reagan was president, and because the ship was stationed, I was at NAS Miramar. The ship was stationed in San Diego, and the squadron that shot those two MiGs down was from the base I was on, NAS Miramar. Every person on that base got a campaign ribbon, and I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" And they still give medals for shit that happened 100 years ago. If it was your company or your division, if it was some a big deal, you get as soon as you get off recruit status, you can put that ribbon or medal on. It's usually a ribbon, not a medal. You don't get the medal unless you're actually there. Exactly. That's exactly right. Yep. That's what it is, Rob. But like what was it? There's one, I can't remember. There's a one company, I think it's the Air Force, or it's one classification. They, on their dress uniforms, they get to wear blood stripes, which, normally that's just the Army and actually airborne special forces type stuff and Marine Corps. Um, and they get to wear them because um, what was it? I can't even remember what they got it for, but it was like a base got attacked or something somewhere, and it was because of it may have been for the caisson thing. I'm not sure, but anyway, those guys got they get to wear blood stripes. Except your mate shows. Yeah, I don't know about. I don't know what kind of fuel they use in commercial planes, but like when I was in the military, we had two types. I guess there's like four types of jet fuel now. We had two types. You had JP4 and JP5. That was it, and it was like black kerosene. And when we would, it takes an air compressor to start them, a big pneumatic gearhead to start them. Fighter jets, anyway. Yeah, they should, shouldn't they? Yep, they do some tough shit. When we would train, we would take that jet fuel, and they had a Navy base. It was called 32nd Street, and that was basically the docks. But right next to it is where our flight deck firefighting training was, and we had to have this. We did that training every 6 months, and they would this. It was a huge building. I mean, this building was every bit of 100 yards by 75 yards, and they had four mock-up aircraft in it. Well, they were actual shells of real aircraft, but then they had mock-up pilots sitting in them, and then they had mock-up ordnance underneath the wings, and they would light that son of a bitch on fire. They'd fill it with about. It had a curve around the whole structure, and they would fill that sucker up with about oh half inch of jet fuel, and then they'd light that sucker up, and it had these huge fans, and they could bring the ceiling down to where the ceiling was either right at eye level or chest level, and then we had to go in there with three hose teams and douse those planes down and get the pilot out first, and then we had to unload the ordnance off of the aircraft. Oh, I seen that one, and it just blows them all over the place. Yeah, I can't remember. It's some big resort town. I think it's no, it might be over in Europe somewhere. But I think there's one like that in Mexico too. That I mean, they're literally 20 feet off the beach when they leave the end of the runway. 30,000 gallons. That's easy enough to figure out. But usually, though, when they in aircraft, when I was in the Navy, we don't really talk gallons of fuel consumption. We talk pounds of fuel consumption. Everything's based on pounds in aircraft. Yeah, because if you if you think about it, at jet fuel, 30,000 gallons, multiply that by seven, and that's the weight. Actually, about 7 point. What is it? It's lighter than water, and I think water's like 8.7 or 8.6. I can't remember. So it's right around 8 pounds per gallon. Well, we got this pond over here in our community park, and the the Forest Service built that pond, and what it is, it's a dip pond for fighting forest fires, and the helicopters will come in here and drop their bags in here and fill them with water, and we get some big helicopters, all kinds of helicopters, big ones, little ones, the Chinooks, and it was the Chinook was coming in, and all these people. There's a whole bunch of bed and breakfasts in here, and all these people that aren't from around here, they see this big helicopter coming in, and he's getting ready to fill his net, and he's up there 400 feet, and so these people, everybody starts flocking out of their Airbnbs and going over there to watch this helicopter. Well, there's like an earthen dam around this pond, and this lady and her 5-year-old kid, I don't know how old the kid was, 5 or 6, but anyway, they go running right up on top of that freaking dam. Well, it's shaped like a bowl, you know, and this helicopter comes in, and he has to get like to where he's only like 70, 80 feet off the water to fill this bag, and the wash just blew that kid right out of, she was standing there, blew that kid right out of that mother's, had her hold of her hand, and just rolled her ass over tea kettle over that side of that dam. I mean, it's not real high, and it's real gradual, it's not steep, but okay, so they are talking gallons. Okay. 85,000 gallons. Jesus Christ. That's a lot. Well, oh, I see what you're getting at, Peggy. Okay, so their jet fuel's just a hoax. There's no such thing. They just run on air. Well, that's yeah, no kidding. The a jet engine, if it wasn't for the fuel to give it a heat source, a jet engine would be the biggest ice maker on the fucking planet. Okay, that I can tell you for sure, especially at those altitudes. The SR-71, it's flying at the edge of the atmosphere, and it had to have heat shields on it just in case it went a little bit too high and hit re-entry temps. And supposedly that plane could go into outer space and come back in, but I don't think it ever did it. That's JP8, it's what they run on now. See, when I was in the Navy, there was only 4 and 5. Hey, what's going on, Maddie? I could see, brother. Here comes that stinking smoke again. Yeah, I know, they're super slow. Now watch that smoke will turn right around and follow me. Hey, Skeeter, what's going on, bro? I, who? I seen that word come up the other day too. Helma Fresh. Who's that? Oh, that must be a nickname. One of Maddie's, huh? Good to see you, Skeeter. Thanks for coming in, man. Well, now, small airplanes, if you're talking like Cessnas and stuff like that, they're not running on jet fuel. They're running on avgas. And those things are extremely efficient little engines, too. Okay, I thought it was. Yep. Are you tying flies tonight, Maddie? You tying flies? Okay. Um, the normal time? Or you're off work today, ain't you? What time is it? Let's see here. 10:16. What time are you going to start tying, Maddie? You got Adam's flies to tie. You know the Adam's fly. No, I take that back. On a scud, I did too. But I was going to say an Adam's fly. It is the first fly that I caught both smallmouth bass and rainbow trout on. But I have with scud too. My fault. In just over an hour, you're going to start. Okay, yeah. So at 11:30 my time, right on. I'm going to throw a little bit more. God damn it, smoke just keeps chasing me around in a circle. Yeah, I like the Adams flies. I got a bunch of different variations of that. Those are good flies. Looks like the turkey's back. Fucking fire. Yeah, they are great patterns. Yeah, it was okay, Maddie, we'll see you. See you in an hour or so. Yeah, I got those Adams flies in just about every color under the sun. You know what? I think I'm going to go grab another wheelbarrow full, guys. I'll be right back. Yeah, those little Cessnas. I have a buddy that he moved to Arkansas, but he did live here in the valley, and he owned a Cessna, and it was a shit. It was like a, I don't know if it was a Cessna, but it was that style of aircraft. But this thing was like a 59, and I mean, it had been totally restored. This plane was just absolutely beautiful. I mean, God, it was a nice plane. The interior was just like something you'd see in a 57 Cadillac. You know, it was just beautiful. And it had a little 4-cylinder air-cooled engine in it. And I mean, that engine wasn't much bigger than a Volkswagen engine. And I can't remember how much fuel consumption was, but it was just absolutely remarkable how little bit of fuel that thing would run. And then, you know, once you get up a certain elevation and you stabilize altitude, you can back off on those, you know, on your throttle and save fuel that way too. Turn this a little bit here. Yeah, so at 11:30 West Coast time, Pacific, Maddie will be tying flies. And what did he say he was? Tying more zonkers, right on. Ah, she's gone. Oh, that feels good too, man. I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. So I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Wow. Sir Martin. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. 6 and 46. Yeah, right on, man. Awesome. Yep, here come the Blue Jays. Turkeys are raising hell. It's mating season for them. So all the males are all buffed up, trying to intimidate each other. I don't hardly ever see them get physical, like fighting cocks. They don't ever do that. At least I haven't seen it. You know, usually it's one of them backs down pretty damn quick. It's mostly a bunch of displays. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, Martin. Yeah, I got to get my trimmers out and do some shaping on these. I'm gonna wait till all the leaves are out and do some shaping on these hawthorns. One of them died a couple years ago, a small one right there, but I left it up because when the quail come in, um, one of the male quail will always jump in the top of that tree and keep an eye out while the rest of them feed. But they use that tree, that's what they use it for, is for a lookout. So I'm leaving that for them guys. Yeah, good point. Good point, Martin. Well, I've seen chickens just go at it, man. I mean, I've seen those chickens fight for 15, 20 minutes, two roosters. And like I said, these turkeys, it's a lot of puffing up and a lot of physical display. And, they'll get down on the road. They like to drag their wings when they puff up because you can hear it makes a totally different sound when they're on, and even on my gravel driveway. And one of them will just put his head down and run toward the other one, and he runs away. And that's how the fights always end. I think they should have named them the other way around. They should have named a chicken a turkey and a turkey a chicken, because turkeys are chicken shit. They don't fight much, man. But chickens, I've seen them fuckers go. Well, they fight to the death, those fighting cocks. Sausage what? The velvet glove. I call it the playpen. I can imagine Martin saying that too in his English accent. Yeah, I don't know if I told you guys, my wife, she doesn't like me having my goatee shaved off. That's kind of weird with Dire Straits. They've got some really cool songs. I mean, really cool songs. But they've got some songs that just annoy the shit out of me. But I guess everybody does now that I think about it. There's not very many. I don't think very many artists that I love everything they've ever done. I'll tell you somebody I really do like. More miss than hit. That's, yeah, busted. Yeah, I like, and my wife, I never even heard of them until I met my wife. Days of the New, man, they're good. They got some really good ones. Is your jam this am? Oh, you're talking about, okay, yeah. You're talking about, hey, Bill, what's up, man? You're talking about a song from Days of the New, Dawn. I've only got their first album. Oh, Railroad Earth is a band name. Okay, gotcha. Growing them out like Wolverine Martin. But scruffier. Well, what you should do is, I think you should do this because George Washington had sideburns too. You should tie your hair back one time when you do a live stream, like George Washington. I'm scruffy too until I grow that thing back out. Yours are far superior than George's. Yeah, it's funny back in those days, man. Some of those guys, you see their pictures, and man, some of them were really into the sideburns and those big, huge handlebar mustaches, and they were really into their beard art, or should I say, beard worship. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Especially with the English accent. I mean, he's already in character. Yeah, I was watching I think it was on. on Facebook, and it was on what languages in the UK sounded like in the 12th century. It must have been speculation, but anyway, I'll tell you what, they didn't sound anything like the languages do now. The only one that did is the people from Scotland. Still sounds pretty much the same. Just kidding. Even Old English, man, it sounds, just nothing like it sounds today. England prevails. Only saying what? What that all the languages in the UK sounded a lot different in the 12th century, except Scotland. It's still the same. Yep, that's what color his hair was. Oh, and the story about him chopping down the cherry tree and never telling, I think that was him. Or was that Abe? Anyway, one of those presidents, they chopped down a cherry tree and got caught. And so father asked him, "Did you chop that down?" They said yes. And I think it might have been Abraham Lincoln. But anyway, that's a total bullshit story. Yeah, Martin has a good chat always. Louise, you're gonna have to let me know if Oh, and that was something else I wanted to check here. Let's see. Okay. I was just gonna say I made Louise a managing moderator too, and I was just making sure that Martin was a managing moderator also in Yarborough. It is. And there's even a famous painting that some guy did back in the 1800s when Abraham Lincoln was running for president. It was part of the campaign, and he this painter does a painting of this. You can see it's an older guy, and he's pointing at this cherry tree that's chopped down, and the painting of the part of Abraham Lincoln. It's such a fucked up looking picture because it's a little boy body, but it's the exact face of Abraham Lincoln when he's in his 40s, and it was just it just looks retarded. Give me shit to read out. Like Abe Lincoln. Yeah, I know there's a lot of made up stories in there. There goes that freaking wind. Yep. What time is it? Let me see. Oh, oh hell, the wind's here 15 minutes early. But you can count on it every time. Honest Abe, yep. Yeah, it's only about, I think it's like 38, 39 degrees. So with that wind, man, it is nipply. Isn't that a funny looking beard? The chin strap beard. I used to work with a guy. He was from South Carolina, and he had a beard like that, the boots or beard strap. And man, I mean, you could tell he just took a lot of time and maintenance on it. And I was just like, man, I got better shit to do with my beard, or with my time, than sit there in the mirror with little trimmers and And it was. I'll give him credit. It was absolutely perfect, but it's like, why? Right? Because they didn't want to. Because they still, a lot of them still had uh, relatives that were alive. Peggy, times have changed now, though. There's the mail lady. Yeah. See, they used to have back in the day in this country, they had a lot more respect for people's families and stuff. So they didn't release those pictures of the Civil War for a long, long time. Now there was some pictures in private collections and stuff. Um, my grandfather had some old pictures. It wasn't of dead bodies, but it was uh, they were Civil War troop movements, stuff like that. Um, Nowadays, they just go ahead. They'll release that stuff. I mean, the the values in people in this country have changed a lot in you know what 100 150 years. It changed a lot, and now they've got freedom of speech, blah blah blah. All that stuff. I mean, though it was on the books back in those days, I don't think it was enforced like it is nowadays. Mail lady Martin. I just seen it. Mail. That's funny though. I never thought about it that way. Spell it. Oh, that's funny shit, bud. Yeah, I didn't realize there were so many different letters, I guess. But there's, I mean, I seen this lady up in Canada and she read them all off at once, and I was just like, and there's one called SB2, something like that. I I'm afraid if I ever see anybody coming that's up to me that that's dressed all weird and shit, and I think I'm just gonna have to avoid them and walk the other way because I don't want to offend them because I don't know how to address them, and they get fucking offended, man. Gavin, what's up, brother? What's going on, buddy? Oh, right on. Did I miss a comment here? Oh no, I'm sorry to hear, Gavin. I did miss that comment. Somebody shooting. Sorry, Gavin. Ah, fuck, dude. That sucks, man. Yeah, so 5 years ago, I went in for my colonoscopy, and I had 6 of those, what are they called, pulpa or something? Anyway, um, I went in, I don't know, it's been, 6 months ago, 7 months ago. I had to go in and take another one, and I had 12. So now I have to go every year and do one of those fucking things, and I absolutely hate drinking that shit. Holy cow, Gavin. Yeah, my dad had his prostate removed too. Damn. Yeah, those rocks, sometimes they pop. Gavin, your daughter's only 5? Fuck, brother. Fucking sorry, bro. I'll be praying for it, buddy. Yeah, me too, brother. I'll be right back, guys. Oh, me nose. What time we getting here? I know, bro. All right, brother. You take care, man. Yeah, I'm probably going to be ending this here in about 10 minutes anyway. I'm going to run in, grab something to eat before Maddie comes on. Hey, Whisker, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Yep. Hey, what's going on, Steve? Hey, Maddie, I'm going to be ending this here in about 5 or 10 minutes. Going to make me something to eat so I can be shoving my face while I'm watching Maddie tie flies. My wife bought some deli roast beef. I think I'll make a sandwich. Well, you guys, I'm going to... my wife is getting ready to leave. You know what? I could leave you guys running here for a minute. Oh, man. That sucks, Steve. That totally sucks. We're going to move up here, guys.